Today, we're diving into one of the most foundational stories ever told. But we're not just going to read it. Nope, we're going to visualize it, breaking down the miracle of Genesis into a clear, day-by-day story of creation. So, let's get right into it.
You know, the story doesn't start with a bang. It starts with a presence. This one line really sets the stage for everything. Before time, before light, before anything we can even comprehend, there was this singular, eternal being.
So I want you to picture this, just an endless, silent, churning darkness, a total void. And out of that nothingness, a voice speaks. This is Elohim, the creator, and with just a single word, the darkness starts to shatter, and the cosmos begins to take shape.
And this whole incredible act unfolds with a really clear, structured timeline. It's all framed within 6 days of work, right? Each day has its own job, building on the one before it, and it all leads up to a final 7th day of rest.
Okay, so this first phase, days 1 through 3, it's all about bringing order out of chaos. This is where the foundation gets laid. It's about shaping that empty world and giving it a fundamental structure, a place where life can actually exist.
The very first act is, well, it's incredibly dramatic. On day 1, the creator's voice just rings out and bam! Light bursts into the void. And it's not just about being able to see. This is the first great act of separation, defining day and night and bringing a real sense of order to reality. And after this first mind-blowing act, we get this phrase that becomes like a divine stamp of approval. It tells us the work is done, and it's exactly how it was meant to be. So building on that, day 2 is all about creating space. The creator literally separates the waters to form an expanse, what we know as the sky, the atmosphere. This really expands the stage, you know? It's preparing a place for life. And with the heavens now in place and the world taking shape, we hear that same declaration again. The work is good, it's on the right track. Day 3 is kind of like a double feature. First, the voice calls for land to rise up out of the water, creating continents and coastlines. But it doesn't stay bare for long. In the second half of the day, that same land just explodes with life. Vegetation, trees bearing fruit, wildflowers, the whole shebang. Now that we have land and all this plant life, the foundational shaping of the world is officially complete. And for one last time in this phase, the creator's assessment rings out loud and clear. Okay, so the stage is set. The world has form, it has structure. And here's what's so cool about the way this story is told. The next 3 days are all about filling the very spaces that were created in the first 3. So now we pivot from shaping the world to populating it. On day 4, the creator fills the light and darkness from day 1 with actual light sources. The sun, moon, and stars are put in place with this incredible precision, creating a kind of cosmic clockwork that governs time itself, giving us our seasons, our days, and our years. With this masterpiece of cosmic order complete, with the sun and moon doing their jobs, the creator looks at it all and, once again, declares that it is good. So now, the realms from day 2, the sky and the seas, are about to get very busy. On day 5, the waters are told to just swarm with life. We're talking everything from tiny plankton to those massive leviathans of the deep. And at the same time, the skies fill with birds, and their songs are like a brand new celebration of all this creation. The creator blesses these new creatures, telling them to multiply and fill their new homes. And yet, you guessed it, the assessment is clear. It was good. All right, we've arrived at the grand finale, day 6. This is the absolute pinnacle of the creation week. The focus now shifts to the land, which was formed back on day 3, and to the arrival of what's called creation's final masterpiece. Day 6 also has 2 parts. First, the land becomes a home for animals. We've got beasts, livestock, things that crawl. Suddenly the ground is thundering and rumbling, just teeming with this vivid, wild array of life. With the world now this canvas of vibrant animal life, that familiar refrain is heard one last time for the creatures of the earth. But hold on, the day isn't over, not by a long shot. The stage is set, the world is filled, but something is still missing. There was one final, absolutely crucial act left to do. The creator was about to do something completely new. And here is. This is the moment the entire story has been building towards. The creator decides to make beings that are fundamentally different from anything that came before. creatures made in the divine image, reflecting the Creator's own essence. So, from the dust of the earth, humanity is formed, male and female, and they're filled with the Creator's own spirit, and they're given a really unique purpose: to be fruitful, to fill and care for the earth, basically serving as co-rulers or stewards of this incredible creation and enjoying everything it has to offer.
With humanity now in place, the sixth day finally closes. And that brings us to the last day of the creation week, a day of rest that really sets the stage for everything that comes next.
On the seventh day, the Creator rests, just taking in everything that's been made. And now, the assessment changes. Looking at the completely finished world, with humanity right at the heart of it, the declaration gets an upgrade. It's no longer just good, it was perfect. So you have this incredible story that starts from nothing and ends in absolute perfection. But that perfect beginning is just that, a beginning. What happens when this perfect world comes face to face with evil? Well, that question is what sets a much, much larger story in motion, and the rest of that journey is just about to begin.